Okay, you're filming. Hi. What are we going to talk about? We going live? And the people, what up? Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. Who's going to win this matchup of the rookies? I'm watching Panthers supposed to Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining. Man, that was a serious bye week. I don't know about you guys. I had a kid with the flu. I had a wife with the flu. I was not on break. I was not in Ibiza. I was not in, Cabo. I was here cleaning up just nastiness. And so, yeah, to be here right now to talk Carolina Panthers football, I know I've been on a bit of a hiatus, but it feels so good. Why? Because I think the Carolina Panthers are in a stretch of games where they can actually gain some respectability. Of course, CJ Stroud taking on Bryce Young. Did the Panthers make a mistake? Did the Panthers make a mistake? Should they have taken CJ Stroud, those stupid S2 scores, or should they have just be happy with Bryce Young and you got one of the better rookies out there? You just got to, improve the surroundings around him, which they did. Of course, this happened a week ago, but Thomas Brown now calling the plays full time as the offensive coordinator. Frank Reich back to where I think he knew he was always meant to be. He started to become a pastor, just like as the leader. And I think that's just the way he is. He's the face of the team, coaching wise. I said this before, he's kind of like Splinter, and the other coordinators are like the Ninja Turtles. And eventually they will outgrow him, and they will run the team, and he's just kind of overseeing things for executive stuff. But that's kind of I feel that Frank Reich's position is going to be. And we always thought, take a look back at preseason where Thomas Brown called the second half of all the preseason games, and you did sense that there's a little bit more excitement, a little bit more creativity in those plays. And so if Thomas Brown can bring that and manage the personnel that he has and scheme it so that guys scheme open so that Bryce can find it, because we know dude is accurate. He is accurate. When a guy's open, Bryce will find you. I think good things will happen. A lot of stuff has happened in the last week. Number one, Austin Corbett is back. That's almost like a trade deadline deal right there. Our starting right tackle. It has been a turnstile worth of guys who are just not up to snuff or just getting injured. Also, we got Brady Christensen out. So that way you can get Chandler Zavala whenever he is feeling healthy. He can put him to left guard. He can be with his college teammate, Ike Ekwonu. And then Austin Corbett back from a torn ACL. He is activated. He is not on the IR. I think that's going to be a huge, huge addition. Like that, honestly, that is like trading for a first round type offensive lineman. He's won the Super Bowl. He is a leader on the team, and the fact he's going to be back and he's had 2 weeks to kind of get things ready, I think it's going to be a huge deal for Bryce and the offense going forward. On the flip side, guys like Yetur Gross-Matos are on the IR. That blows my mind because I thought he was one of the bright spots on the team. I actually did a literal isolated video on him thinking that he is going to come out and I think he's going to show great things. The camp out there who thought that, you could always trade Brian Burns because you have a guy like Yetur Gross-Matos just behind him who could, potentially be a star in the making. But unfortunately, he's hurt right now. Jeremy Chin, he is hurt. He could have been a Philadelphia Eagle. The Philadelphia Eagles traded for Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans. They got their safety along with a 5th and a 6th round pick, I believe. Would you have taken that deal? I actually like the safety that they got. I think it's Terrell, one of the Edmonds brothers. I think it's Terrell Edmonds. Their safety, I think that actually would have been pretty sweet. He's kind of like a tweener like Jeremy Chin was. So let me know in the comments below. Would you have sent Jeremy Chin to the Philadelphia Eagles for the Edmonds bro, the safety one, and a 4th and a 5th and a 6th round pick? I say, yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good deal. But obviously that's not going to happen because Jeremy Chin now on the IR. He had an issue, I believe, with his quad. But either way, he is out. Also, Giovanni Ricci is also on the IR. But again, that really sucks for the defense. That has just been absolutely beaten up right now. I have actually lost count about the guys. Like I think if J.C. Horn comes back in the next week or so, if the Panthers already don't get their first win against the Houston Texans, I think they'll get it once he gets back because he is that good. He is good. He just gets hurt. Anyways, so that's the news and notes front stuff. The trade deadline is coming. It is on Tuesday. So again, if anything happens, if the Carolina Panthers somehow trade for a number one wide receiver, right now, number one receiver is Adam Thielen. Is there anyone out there who could supersede him as a number one wide receiver if they trade for them? Unless it's T. Higgins, I don't know who else is out there. If it's Devontae Adams, then yeah, he's our number one guy. But I think our number one wide receiver is going to be obtained in the draft next year. I think that's going to be the main focus. Think of, and everyone's already probably yelling at their screens right now, is Jerry Jeudy with the Denver Broncos. And if you can trade, Terrace Marshall Jr. and like a late round pick, which I'm thinking about now out loud, you could have gotten if Jeremy Chin stayed healthy from the Philadelphia Eagles. That would have been great because, Jerry Jeudy knows how to run routes. He's fast and he can run routes and he gets separation. That's all that Bryce Young needs is a sliver of daylight, and then he'll get you the ball in stride. We've seen it. So if anything does happen, any trades are made, whether it's for draft picks or for any kind of players, I'll be coming out here to talk. If I'm working, it's probably going to be a YouTube short, and then I'll do a later, longer video after that. But you can keep it tuned here to Panthers Post to get your latest on that. But let's talk about the game. What headlines are we going to be reading on Monday after the Carolina Panthers take on the surprising Houston Texans? I think we need to be real. I don't think people thought the Texans were going to be this good this quickly. Like, they were a team that kind of, they lost Deshaun Watson. They were seen as a toxic franchise, toxic owner, toxic GM. Deshaun Watson wanted to play with them. Never realized that who really wanted Deshaun Watson besides Carolina Panthers and other teams. But they didn't seem like they seemed kind of, if you looked at it before the draft, no one thought that the Houston Texans were a better situation than the Carolina Panthers. But here they are. They're doing their thing. They're competitive in their division. CJ Stroud's playing great. His offensive line is keeping him clean. His wide receivers. Remember, Nico Collins was the result of a trade, I believe, with the Carolina Panthers. And then they picked up Nico Collins, and we're like, you got fleeced. And I don't even remember that trade. Let me look up that trade. 2021, Carolina trades a third-round pick. Houston trades a fourth, a fifth, and a fourth for the next year. The Panthers got Tommy Tremble, who's been playing better. He's been playing better. He hurdled the guy against Miami, so you can't hate him for that. Nico Collins having a great year. Tank Dell's having a great year. They got a great running back as well, and Dameon Pierce. And so, he's got what's going on around him. And, we talked about this with the Houston Texans beat writer who used to be with the Carolina Panthers beat. And he talked about it's not that one is worse than the other. They're different, but their situations are completely different from each other. One day I'll get Will Kunkel on the show, and we'll talk about that. Maybe when the season's over, when he doesn't have to see these guys every day, not like they're watching Panthers Post, but just to get a better understanding, especially at the end of the year, like who has a better record as a rookie. But just like what was the situation like in Houston compared to Carolina. I think if the Carolina Panthers defense. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. The headline will be Panthers team rallies for Bryce to earn first win of the season. That's very long. That one's for Bryce if we were the Denver Broncos. Panthers defense rally for Bryce. So, in my head, I'm imagining it right now. I'm Nostradamusing it right now. The Carolina Panthers defense has been beat up right now on the run. They have Bryce's back because Bryce is being questioned right now. They know that. Maybe Bryce doesn't read the reports, but they must read the reports that they're saying, the Panthers made a mistake. They screwed up. They got this scrawny little kid out of Alabama, barely 5'11", barely 195 pounds. Why didn't you just get the prototypical quarterback in friggin' CJ Stroud? We know Frank Reich wanted him more. Frank Reich's been asked about that more, whether the value difference between them is now closing a little bit because they were all sold on Bryce. Bryce is the brain. And so I think teammates are trying to keep their franchise quarterback, really, because that's what he is. If you draft a quarterback first overall, he is the face of your franchise for the next decade. So I think the defense rallies around him, not just the offense, but the defense rallies around Bryce Young, gets CJ Stroud moving, makes him uncomfortable. I think Brian Burns shows up. I think Frankie Louvu shows up, which will be good, ups his trade value. And the defense shows up and maybe gets a couple cover sacks and then makes CJ Stroud uncomfortable. He is outside. He's not going to be in a dome. Going to be a bit chillier, maybe. I don't know what the forecast is going to be in Charlotte on Sunday. And I think the offense, again, you get Austin Corbett back. I think Terrace Marshall not playing, so he's kind of out of the picture right now. He's requested a trade. He is given permission to seek a trade. Good luck. I think Adam Thielen continue doing what he's doing. I think we have solidified a running back one in Chuba Hubbard. And I think allowing Bryce Young 2 weeks to study, and he's getting better every single week. giving him 2 weeks to get even better on this. I don't think there's any ill will towards CJ Stroud on his behalf. They are absolute best friends. I think he wants to win. I think the competitive juice is going to come out. And I think Bryce is going to will this team, along with the defense, to their first win of the season. And if they do that, they then play the Indianapolis Colts with Gardner Minshew. And then they take on the Chicago Bears with a Division II quarterback at the helm. And then play the Cowboys and the Titans, who are on free fall right now. They're currently in free fall. I think by the time they play the Tennessee Titans, they will not have Derrick Henry on that team. I don't think so. So I think this could be the start of a potential, not winning streak, maybe a winning streak if they can win against Houston. I think they can then potentially beat the Colts in a Frank Reich revenge game. And then at Chicago, I think they could beat the Bears. Maybe Tariq Cohen gets activated in the Tariq Cohen revenge game. I don't know. Panthers can win 3 games straight. And then after that, the Cowboys, that's going to be really tough. At the Titans, that's a win. At Bucks, probably not. At Saints, probably not. Versus the Falcons, at home, maybe. Versus the Packers, they've kind of slumped a little bit. At the Jaguars, that's a loss. Versus the Bucks, depending on how the Bucks are doing right now, that could be a loss as well. So, if we want to get any respect at all, this is the next 3 games to do it. And I think the headline, is going to be Panthers defense does it for Bryce. And Bryce Young, again, as long as he minimizes the turnovers, like Houston's defense doesn't really scare me. I think this could maybe be a rookie clash of the year. Just the 2 quarterbacks, the only ones left, really, because I don't even remember the rookie quarterback's name in Tennessee because he hasn't seen the field at all. But Anthony Richardson is out. By the way, who would have seen that? Cam Newton 2.0, the guy who's 6'4", 260. He's out for the season, and now the 5'11", 5'10", Bryce Young. Who would have said? Knock on wood. But maybe this could be some offensive fireworks a little bit with these 2 guys just slinging it at each other like they did in 11-on-11 or Elite 11, whatever it's called. That'd be pretty fun to see. So let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers are going to get their first win of the season against CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans? Or do you think CJ Stroud is going to carve up this Carolina Panthers team and be like, hey, Josh McCown, you said, I was the guy. And then Frank Reich, you were filming me like a proud dad at cheerleading camp. And you didn't draft me. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to tear you guys up 550 yards and 4 touchdowns. Maybe. But I think it's going to happen. I think the first win is going to happen. And when it does, make sure you get the reaction. I am off on the Monday. So a video is going to be coming. Maybe a collaboration. I don't know. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the patience. Let me know in the comments below. Is this win number 1? Maybe the first of 3 total of the season? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And also, who are some of the trade targets you guys want? We mentioned Jerry Jeudy. I think that's the most obvious one, the one that people talk about the most. If there's someone else you want the Panthers to pick up in the trade, let me know in the comments below. See you guys soon.